Good evening, it's Wednesday night and time for another Facebook Live. Tonight we're going to play with this Merry Moose set. Let me get this video shared. Let's see. Seems like it's different every time I get on Facebook. Hey, Betty. Glad you could join me. All right, there we go. Share. I'll give everybody a minute to... Hey, Nancy. Welcome. Just getting the video shared over to the group in case somebody is looking for it there. All right, I'll get shared now. Okay. All right. So, what I decided to do, and I'm doing this for my card class tomorrow night, is to take some holiday either stamp sets or paper or something and make something non-holiday with them. And I know this moose is a carryover from last year. Last year he was so popular that the punch sold out pretty quickly. So I think there's probably a lot of people that didn't get a chance to play with him. So I decided to make a masculine birthday card with him. But this is the stamp set. So it's got sentiments for Christmas, and it's got trees and a little Santa hat and a scarf and a little ornament and even a little raccoon. So it's, you know, made for Christmas, but you can definitely use it for non-Christmas. And then the other stamp set, I hadn't played with this one yet, is this Textured Essentials. So I used it just to make some fun background on there. And then I brought in Itty Bitty Birthdays just to get my sentiment. You could use any sentiment that you have. That was just one that I like to have. All right, so let's get started. So we'll do our moose. And so I've just got a scrap of Very Vanilla. And I thought with the neutral colors I was using here that the Very Vanilla would work well. So I'm going to use Soft Suede ink. And I like to do the outline first. For me, that's easier. You can do it either way. There's no right or wrong. But for me, it's easier. And I'm going to put him towards the bottom so that I can reach him with the punch easily. So there he is, his outline. And then for the inside, I'm just going to take Soft Suede again, but I'm going to stamp it off and see if I can get it lined up. It's always interesting when you're on camera because you're not right over the top of it like you normally are. Not too bad. So he's ready to punch out. All right, let's get our... While we've got our Soft Suede out, we'll get a little strip for the sentiment. So I'm just going to stamp, and I'm going to punch it out so it doesn't matter if it's straight or not, thankfully, since that is not straight. Set that aside. And then I've got a card base, I don't need this anymore, that is thick Whisper White. I always use thick if I'm using it for my card base. And I decided to put a little texture around the outside. And so I used this kind of crosshatch. I think I did it in Crumb Cake though. So let's put our Soft Suede away for just a minute. Try not to make a mess with it. Hi, Susie. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to go around the outside a little bit. Just gives it a little bit more texture. So you'll just see some of that around the outside. And now I need to clean this off because I used a different color on the base of the card. I'm going to get my chamois. Set that aside. We're done with it for the moment. There we go. Now it's ready for the next one. Actually, yeah, no, let's do that. All right, so now I'm going to take my piece of crumb cake, and I will put on my blog all the dimensions, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down now, because I think this is 3 3/4 by 5, but like I said, I'll put it on my blog. So I just took, this is like a wood grain. Let me do another one up here. That one didn't stand very well. Just for some background. Okay, now we're done with the crumb cake. And then I took that crosshatch one again and the soft suede, but I stamped it off this time because I didn't want it to be too dark. I just wanted a little variation. Let's do one here. Do a little corner right there. There we go. And they'll probably all turn out different. All right, so that is all of our stamping. Get this out of the way before I make a mess. And now I have just a piece of soft suede. So I'm going to mount this on the soft suede. So it's just going to have a small border all the way around, like that. And then before I put that on my card base, I have some of this natural, let me see what it's called, embroidered ribbon. So it's just a real neutral color. And I'm just going to put it, oh, did I punch my, oh man, hang on. I forgot to punch my thing to put my mousse on out of this. So just to save paper, and this is one of the lovely something, label me lovely, label me something. But because that's going to be hidden underneath the other paper, I can just punch that out of the middle of it. So now we're ready to put this on here. And then I'll take this piece of ribbon. And where did my Scotch tape go? There it is. It was hiding. This is what I like to do. I just take it and tape it to the back. So you want to put it up far enough that you've got room for that punched thing, punched shape. So I'll just turn it to the back, tape that on, then I always turn it back over and make sure it's straight. Tape that. Now I can put this whole thing on my card base. And that will go there, and we'll have some of that nice cross-hatching showing up behind it. All right, now we're ready to punch. So I have the mousse punch. And so, see if I gave myself a big enough piece. Well, just barely. I think I can wiggle it maybe. Nope. Let's get it posted. I don't want to mess up my mousse. So if you have a piece that's too small, just stick a Post-it on it. And then that gives you something you can hold on to and manipulate. Okay, make sure you can see what I'm doing. And I can see what I'm doing. Come on. There we go. All right, one mousse. And then the happy birthday, I used this every day? I don't remember. I really ought to put all the names. I know I've said this before on my punches, so I could tell you the right name. There's our happy birthday. All right, now we're ready to put the rest of it together. So I put my mousse, and I'll use liquid adhesive on him. Make sure I stay up where you can see what I'm doing. So we'll just put a little adhesive on the middle of him. Oh, I better put a couple dots on his antlers too. And he is just going to sit on this. And because that punch left a little halo, then he shows up nicely on that. And then this is going to go over our ribbon with dimensionals. Time for a new sheet of dimensionals. Either that or they're hidden on my desk somewhere. So I'll just put one at the top and one at the bottom. And that will go right down here. And then we need mini dimensionals. And that's what I use to put the happy birthday sentiment on the mousse. So put one on each end, not quite all the way to the end, just because I don't know if I don't want it, if it's hanging off, I don't want the dimensional hanging off the end. And so I just put that kind of right across his legs. And then I decided he needed just a little bit of bling. Even though this is going to a guy, these metallic pearls are masculine enough, I think. So I just got some of the gold pearls. You might take your pick tool. Use that gummy end. And that makes it so easy to pick these up. So I put a couple down here and one up here, somewhere up there. All right, there we go, and that's it. There's our mousse. All right, and so remember, if you comment on this video, I will do a drawing and somebody will get this lovely mousse card. I will mail it to you. And I'll do the drawing Sunday, so you have till Sunday to watch the video and comment it here on Facebook. And I will get a blog post up so you know the dimensions. And if YouTube comes back to life, I will load it to YouTube also. Thank you, buddy. So this is one way to use a holiday stamp set that's not holiday. This is another one of the cards we're going to make tomorrow night. So this is actually Halloween paper, but you couldn't tell it by the card. And then I posted, I think it was yesterday, another card that we're making tomorrow night using a holiday stamp set that's not a holiday card. So even though Halloween is long gone, we can still use some of this paper. And I love this paper. It's really pretty. I have one spot. Thank you, Susie. One spot left in card class tomorrow night. So if you haven't signed up and you want it, first person to let me know they want it, we'll get that last spot. All right. Well, thank you, ladies. And I will see you next week. Good night.